Hi, my name is Sean Velasco from Yacht Club Games, creator of Shovel Knight, and welcome to the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
This is the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast, episode 43. I'm here today with Courtney. Woo! And I'm Myles. Woo! And so this is episode 43, and do we have any interesting news that has happened?
Yeah, actually, and thank you for doing the intro. That's
You're so welcome.
The first serious person to do that, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I think Lou has done it once. I think Brendan has done it once, but I think they were both joking when they did it. So, but I made that into the real intro.
Should I have made that into a horrible joke?
No, you did it great. Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, news. The website, our website, we hit 1,000 stories published. That huge milestone. I remember when we were down within the first 100, and it took months to get there because we only had 4 people writing, and of those 4, I was the only consistent one. And so to go, God, it's been 10 months later now, and to see us hit 1,000 stories, that's incredible. That's since we've expanded, we've done a lot of good work and a lot of stories, and we're averaging close to 50 a week, I believe now, which is pretty good.
We're awesome. That's all there is to it.
I'm pretty excited.
And anyone who's wondering where Lou is, we have unfortunately lost him to the rips and tears of butt cancer. So, pour one out for Lou.
So, yeah, everybody be sure and tweet at Lou Cantaldi on Twitter and say sorry about the butt cancer. We wish you well. We hope you get better.
No, he's dead. We lost him.
Oh, well, okay. Then yeah, sorry. I forgot about that. Then tweet at Lou Cantaldi and say, we'll miss you, R.I.P., sorry about the butt cancer, Mong. And
I want to see every one of our followers tweet this, by the way.
Please tweet.
I plan to once we're done with this podcast.
Oh, it'll be great. Anyways, so, yeah. Anything exciting with you right now?
My back hurts. That's about it.
Back hurts. And I'm exhausted. Yeah.
No one is doing well.
No, we're recording this a day late, so sorry about that, everybody. We're sorry it's going to go up a little later than usual. Hopefully I'll have it up about an hour or two after we get done recording this. But yeah, last night we got busy. Lou was reviewing 2 games, and I was reviewing The Walking Dead, and Myles didn't get off work until too late for us to actually do the recording, and so just none of our timelines matched up. And we're like, we'll just wait till tomorrow. So, anyways,
and then Lou died.
Night. Fucking butt cancer.
Butt cancer, man. It takes the best of us.
Fucking butt cancer. All right, let's move on.
All right, am I hosting the whole thing, or was I just doing the introduction?
Yeah, you want to host it? Go ahead.
Sure, I'll do that. All right, the news from nowhere. What do we have today? All right, the first story is Dragon Age Inquisition and Battlefield Hardline have been delayed. I feel horrible about one of those things. EA and BioWare announced that Dragon Age Inquisition will now be released on November 18th instead of November 21st in Europe. And that's going to be delaying the game by about a month, a little bit more than that. The executive producer, Mark Dara, explained the delay with, "We appreciate the enormous support we've received from all of you to get to this point. And while this extra few weeks may not seem like a lot, I know the game you'll play will be all the better for it. Dragon Age Inquisition was originally going to launch on October 7th next to Drive Club, Middle-earth, Shadows of Mordor, Alien Isolation, and NBA 2K15. So that was going to be a bad day for everyone because that would have been a lot of sales that someone would be missing.
Bank accounts everywhere are dying. Wallets are falling out of pockets, losing money.
I mean, I'm happy personally because I mean I'm not happy that it got delayed, but I'm happy I'm only paying for one game that day instead of that day instead of two.
Yeah, well, see, I'm still paying for 2 games that day. I'll be paying for Middle Earth and Alien, but taking Dragon Age out of it is still a whole nother $60 that I don't have to spend now.
Exactly. And the other bit, which was Battlefield Hardline, which no one should care about, that's also delayed until early 2015. Carl Magnus Troedsen,
I think.
I hope he's not listening because I just butchered his name a little bit. He's from DICE. He's the vice president and group GM. Had the following to say about the delay. The feedback also spurred us to start thinking about other possibilities and ways we could push Hardline innovation further and make the game even better. The more we thought about these ideas, the more we knew we had to get them in the game that you all will be playing. However, there was only one problem. We needed more time. Time we didn't have if we decided to move forward with launching in just a couple of months. No offense, Troedsen, but y'all just need to start over. That was a bad game. Troedsen also listed 3 things that caused the delay of Battlefield Hardline: multiplayer innovation, yep; single-player story depth, yep; and stability. Stability will be one of DICE's and Visceral Games' most important tasks at hand, which is not surprising considering Battlefield 4? That was the last one, right?
Yeah, I think so. I have no idea. I don't like the Battlefield series, but I think that's right.
Sounds right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But if you guys really want to hear our thoughts on this whole situation, go back and listen to QuickTime Event episode 4, the second half of it, where we talked about the Battlefield Hardline beta that was back in July. Not a good game.
It was bad.
I did not enjoy it.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I agree. I do think, though, this is for both games, Dragon Age and Battlefield, a really, really, really smart move by EA. Or both of them are smart moves, because Dragon Age was going to suffer because of the day it was launching on, and it's still going to suffer a little bit because it's launching on the same day as Far Cry 4. But Battlefield Hardline is going to benefit the most from this because it was launching between 2 big shooters, 3 big shooters, in fact. It was launching between Destiny and then Call of Duty and then the Halo Master Chief Collection, and then the fact that it wasn't very good to begin with, that they need a few more months. They need some time.
They would have lost that fight hard.
Yep, it would have been bad. It would have been 2 straight really bad Battlefield games, and so this can only help them. I don't see how this could hurt them.
I mean, I hope it does, because however much I don't like Battlefield, I admit I have friends who love it, and it's always a shame when you hear about a company closing because of bad sales. Not saying that this company would close because of bad sales, considering who they are, but
Yeah. But, I mean, you don't want Visceral's first game in the Battlefield series to be a bad one. You want them to have a strong entry into the series so that they can continue making games for EA and making Battlefield games at that, especially if that's what they want to do.
Definitely.
So moving on, right?
All right. Yep. All right. Second piece of news. Destiny is likely to have a sequel. I hope so, since it was, $500 million? And on top of that, your characters will carry over. And not only will they be carrying over, but from what I understand, you can start a character in like Destiny 2 and take it back into Destiny 1, which is kind of amazing, in my opinion. Bungie wants players to enjoy playing through every game with their initial character, but also want the newcomers to feel welcome, of course. New characters can play with veterans, and there's cross-generational play. Is not allowed, actually, and by cross-generational I mean PS4 to PS3 and 360 to Xbox One. Isn't allowed, and one of the reasons they listed was pixel advantages, because on the PS4 a character will appear as 4 pixels, and on the PS3 they'll appear as 2, which means that the PS4 player has a much better chance of hitting their target than a PS2 player or PS3 player would. Lots of PSs.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've always thought that Destiny was going to be a series, It wasn't going to end with just one. It wasn't going to be Destiny. There's going to be Destiny 2, or at least a Destiny subtitle or something like that. And
Destiny. That witch came from the moon.
Yeah, I was going to say. Dinklage in a box.
That's Destiny 3.
It is cool, though, to be able to carry your characters back and forth. Like, have we had any game like that other than, like, Mass Effect? But even that, it can't go backwards. It can only go forwards.
Yeah. No, I've not ever seen any game that can go backwards. But I also I wrote the article for this, and I kind of wonder how they're going to do that because, as I wrote in the article, the best example I had was Pokemon, which, you know, has allowed the trickle down, essentially, of Pokemon that you've had since, like, Generation 1, I believe. There is a way to get them all the way to current X and Y. And the reason you can't go backwards once they go ahead in the generations, you can't take them backwards. And that reason is because, you know, every new game, there's new stuff. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how they're going to handle that. Like, will there be updates to older games that just allow you to bring new stuff or newer things back into them? Because that seems like it's going to be a really difficult thing to manage. Yeah,
it could, and at the same time, they could do something where maybe certain aspects just don't carry, you know? Like, okay, so Destiny 1 has Titans and all the other stuff, you know, and the Titan has a certain move or a certain ability plus thing in Destiny 2, but when you bring your Titan back to Destiny 1, that actually doesn't carry over, but everything else does, or something like that.
That could be, but on top of that, like, I would kind of I like the Destiny, or I like the Destiny. I do like the Destiny. It's true. I'm in love with it.
He does.
I like the Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock, but like it seems like it would be weird if they just kept 3 classes throughout all the games.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like wondering, like, if in the fifth game, no, there could be 5 games, 10 years could be. I don't know.
Every 2 years a new Destiny.
I mean, yeah. In the 5th game, if they had, like, I don't know, like, calling back to Final Fantasy, the Red Mage or a fighter or something.
Yeah.
Which would be ridiculous, but he just goes up and punches everything. Oh, wait, that's what Titans do. Never mind.
Giant boxing gloves.
Oh, God, but if the 5th game has, you know, a new class, how are they going to bring that back? Because, I mean, I think there would be limitations to I don't know. There's smart people at Bungie. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll do something. It'll be interesting to see how they handle it, really. You know, and we're talking about all of this before Destiny 1 is even out. So
yep.
We have no idea what they even have planned for that. You know, we could see some crazy changes before the sequel comes out.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. The beta has really excited me for the release. Like I said before, I not on this podcast, but I think on the QuickTime event when we talked about it. Originally, Destiny really wasn't even on my radar until I played the alpha, and now it absolutely is on my radar. So
definitely. And now that I know that you're not going to be poor your whole time playing, that there's a way to get, you know, good money, I'm even more excited.
Oh yeah, because we found out the farming thing for glitter,
exactly.
Right? Or glimmer. Is it glimmer?
Glimmer.
Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know about the farming glimmer thing, you should Google it. It's on YouTube. There's a really quick way to farm glimmer, and you can get up to I think I got up to 6,000 glimmer within 40 minutes.
Yep.
So
it's very efficient, very amazing, and even though it is repeating the same thing over and over, I found it fun.
Yeah, well, because the enemies just keep respawning really fast, and so you also get a shitload of experience and a lot of drops and a lot of new gear, and it's amazing.
Excuse me, I found it fun until freaking ultras and majors started spawning for no reason. Were you there when that happened?
No, I wasn't.
We're going off on a tangent right now, but I think I was alone with Jake, and we were just, we were running the trail, and you know that part at the very beginning where there's like the little, like the fallen, what is he, a vandal, and then like 3 of his dregs, and then there's a hive knight and 3 acolytes, and they're just shooting back and forth. Well, one time we went through there, and I noticed immediately that something was wrong because there was a lot more enemies, and then I was like, holy crap, there are like 3 wizards just floating around. They were like, they're fighting, and it was like an all-out war. And apparently, I guess it's random when it happens. They spawn like the big dogs, and there's a bunch of them. Like, one of the rooms that we normally check for a chest, I was running into it, and a wizard just spawned behind me, and then turned around and started killing me. And I didn't know how to handle it, because all of a sudden there's like 5 knights, 3 wizards, and they just keep spawning. On the other side, there's like captains, and I think there was a named dude over there, and I was just like, okay, Jake, normally we would do this, but right now I'm gonna run into this room and crouch and hope nobody notices me.
That's crazy. Like,
it was awesome to watch, but it was god awful to try and fight through it.
And it just happened randomly. It wasn't like an event or anything.
No, we were just running the circuit, and it just happened.
Oh man, that would suck. Okay.
I mean, like I said, it was awesome, and it was cool that that little scuffle that had been happening, I've seen hundreds of times, just turned into like an all-out war. But yeah, it was kind of inconvenient when a servitor just comes out of nowhere, and you're not expecting it.
All right, so moving on, number 3. CD Projekt Red has no plans to re-release previous Witcher games on PlayStation. In an interview with PlayStation Lifestyle, the lead designer on The Witcher 3, Myles Toast, announced that the developer currently has no plans for this. He said that the company also has no plans to release a Witcher collection, and that CD Projekt Red is fully committed to the development of both The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and their upcoming sci-fi action role-playing title, Cyberpunk 2077. That's kind of disappointing. You know, like, I understand why you wouldn't want to do it because of the extra work when you're trying to, especially when you're trying to make a new franchise with Cyberpunk, and you're trying to finish a franchise you've been working on, and you're trying to make it like this huge, incredible, forward-thinking game and everything like that. But God, maybe if anything, why not just like give it to another development team? Be like, hey, put these together as an HD collection for PlayStation 4. I don't know.
Well, as most people know, my feelings on Witcher can be summed up in the all-knowing, the word with so much depth, which is eh. But, I mean, they say they have no plans. That doesn't mean it's not like that it's absolutely not going to happen in the future. It could just mean right now. And personally, I'm okay with that because I am very on Witcher, and I do want to see Cyberpunk 2077. Like, I don't know why, but that little still motion, that is an oxymoron if I ever heard one. That still motion trailer they put out, like 2 years ago.
Stop motion, is that what you're talking about? Or,
I don't know. It was like the 3D models, but they were just like going around. Yeah, that. I was really intrigued by that personally, and I kind of got excited for it. Not nearly as much as like Destiny or, all the other games that I just foam at the mouth over. But I don't know. I'm okay with this news.
Okay. See, I've played The Witcher 2 on Xbox 360, so I know where the story is, and I read the Witcher series, the books, so I know all about it and everything like that. But for people who have a PlayStation 4, expecting, or going to play The Witcher 3 and they want to know the backstory, it just sucks to know that they can't do that on a PlayStation console, to know that they have to go and play it on a PC or buy a 360 to play 2 and stuff like that. It seems silly that they wouldn't want to make more money, because there are so many people excited about The Witcher 3 that you would think that they would put it on, or put the old games on PlayStation Network or something, just to make extra money, because all those people who are excited would want to know the backstory.
Well, they could watch Let's Plays. Fair.
They could do that, and they could also read about it. And at the same time, CD Projekt Red has said that you don't need to play the first 2 games to understand the story of The Witcher 3. And so I'm pretty sure they're preparing for that, and they're going to make cutscenes and make good explanations of what happened in the past and things like that. But at the same time, there are people who will play this and will be like, damn, that game was fun. I can't wait. I want to play the other 2. Are they ever going to come out? And to know that they won't, or that they aren't currently playing, kind of sucks. But speaking of collections, a Kingdom Hearts HD Remix compilation is headed to Japan. Square Enix has announced that Kingdom Hearts compilation will be for PlayStation 3. The box set will come with both Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix and Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix, and it will be called Kingdom Hearts Starter Pack HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix. A long fucking name.
I mean, it's Kingdom Hearts. Of course, it's going to be a horrible name.
Exactly. And it's going to include almost every game in the franchise. It's set to be released on October 2nd in Japan. And there's currently no word on whether or not it's actually going to come to North America. I don't see why it won't, though. 2.5 Remix is going to be released on December 5th for PlayStation 3 in North America. And you would think that a few months later they would be like, hey, you know what? Let's put them all together and just release it over in North America, because Kingdom Hearts is a very, very, very popular series in America, or we could just say the West. It's a very, very popular series. There are people who hate on it and stuff like that, but it would be silly for Square Enix not to do something like this, because of all the missteps Square Enix has had over the past several years on what they think is important to the company and whatnot, and this would be something I guarantee fans are going to request, and so I don't see any way that it doesn't come west.
I totally think that they need to just they need to make a game of Kingdom Hearts that, for one, is actually just like all of the Kingdom Hearts games, every single one of them, but they put them in order in a manner that makes sense to play them, so that they can clearly explain that horribly convoluted storyline they've built up over the past 10 years.
Well, that's what the remixes are, though. 1.5 Remix has the first three in order of chronological, like the way they happened in the universe. It doesn't have Kingdom Hearts 1 and then 2 or anything like that. It has Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, and then it has 365 divided by 2 days, and then Chain of Memories, which it goes Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and then 358 divided by 2 days. And those are the first three games in the chronological history of the series. And then the next one will be 2, followed by the other 2 games that are on 2.5 Remix. And then it'll lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3.
I just came to a realization.
What? Go ahead.
Like, every single name for the Kingdom, like every single subtitle for Kingdom Hearts makes you do math before you even play the game.
Yeah, it's really hard to understand a lot of that shit. But I'm excited about this. I wish I kind of wish this would have all come out, at the beginning, just release all of the games. But whatever. I'll probably buy 2.5 Remix on December 5th, and I'll probably buy the collection when it comes out sometime next year, probably. Just to say I have it, because I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan.
If they package it with a Keyblade, I will buy it.
Oh god, that would be so cool. I was looking into buying Square Enix memorabilia, and there was a bunch of Keyblade, like there's a Keyblade necklace, and a Keyblade figurine thing that you could just put on a shelf, and there's all kinds of stuff, Keyblade pens and stuff. I was like, damn, this is cool. Nerding out over it. But moving on, number 5, an Uncharted Remastered Collection could be coming to PlayStation 4 in the future. In an interview with Eurogamer about Sony's plans in 2014 for the PlayStation 4, Shuhei Yoshida said that he believes that the Uncharted series would be a great candidate for another remastered edition on PlayStation 4. There are requests from some consumers for games that were released later in the generation, like Uncharted, which people might have missed. That would be a good candidate. We don't want to flood the market with remade games either, he said. Now, the community manager for Naughty Dog also chimed in about the potential Uncharted Remastered release. He said, "When we look at the PlayStation 4 generation, especially in the US, I don't know what the general feeling was in Europe. There were a lot of people who are new to PlayStation platforms and may not have played Uncharted. It would be a good time for us to leverage all the attention behind it and make it look better. It would be really cool to have. Shuhei really likes the Uncharted series quite a bit, and I think it would be a great way to introduce, I wouldn't say a new generation, but to expand the people that are bound to know Uncharted." So yeah, just like they're going to do the Last of Us remastered, you would think that since Uncharted 4 is coming out, that an Uncharted collection with 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation 4 would make sense. Because, just like I said about The Witcher, there are going to be people who are owning a PlayStation 4 for the first time and have never played a game in the previous series. And so if you want to put out another game in the series, the final game probably, or likely, you would think that people would want to play the first few and know the story, get to know the characters.
True. I don't know. Uncharted, like, this is probably going to happen. It's probably a good idea. I'm just like, I've been very wishy-washy with Uncharted. Like, I've never really played through one of the games completely, but I've always, like, had the kind of back and forth where I'm like, man, I should really play that series. And the other part of me is like, man, I don't really care.
Yeah, God, dude. So you have not finished the series or finished one of the games?
I have not finished any of the games.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely need to. I mean, the games are only like 7 to 10 hours long, if that.
I'm like aware of it. It's just like Uncharted doesn't really seem like a game I would care about. It doesn't really like. I respect that a lot of people love it. I respect that it gets good reviews. I respect that people really like. Well, I already said that you know, it seems to be a good game. It's pretty. It seems like it's really, like, from what I've played, it controls fairly well. It's just like, I like the characters too. I just don't care about the story. That's what kept me away from Tomb Raider for so long, because I'm like, I don't care about this. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but I don't personally want to invest time into it. It's not like Destiny where it's sci-fi. It's not like fantasy or something.
Yeah, it's much more realism, which I say that, and then there's some sci-fi things that, or not sci-fi, but I guess a little science fiction-y kind of, I don't know, whatever. Some weird shit that happens in Uncharted 1 and 2.
I know what you're talking about. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. It doesn't make me want to play the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a sucker for action movies, and Uncharted and Tomb Raider are exactly that. They're just like the action movie with the big set pieces and explosions, and it's just, I don't know. It really is a cool series to me. I really love it, and this would make a lot of sense for Naughty Dog to do, and a lot of sense just for Sony to do, just for the simple fact that Uncharted is one of their biggest sellers. You know, it's one of their biggest series, and you would think that they would want people to play it again.
Yeah, I guess what makes me want to play it is the most recent Tomb Raider. You know, I like randomly just gave that a try, and I'm like, wow, this game is really good.
Yeah.
This game is really good.
It is really good.
It was the first Tomb Raider I ever picked up and actually played, and I was like, I mean, I don't know if the rest of them were this good, but this one was like a not masterpiece, but I enjoyed it greatly.
You know, honestly, there will be people who will say this one's better than the rest of the series, and then vice versa. It depends on the nostalgia, you know. People who grew up playing the old Tomb Raiders will say they're the best. So, it's, I don't know. It's a lot like I say Final Fantasy 13 is one of my favorites in the series, and it's because it was my first. It's what introduced me to the series. And then there are people who love Final Fantasy 7 and 8 who will swear to God that they're the best games ever made, and that Final Fantasy 13 is probably one of the worst games ever made. And it's like, no, it's because you're a nostalgic bitch who doesn't accept it, it changed too much for your liking. It's like, fuck off. Sorry, that pisses me off when that shit happens.
No, it's okay.
So anyways, another rant. Moving on. August Xbox One update has been detailed. It rolls out this week for early access users and includes an improved activity feed, remote downloading, and 3D Blu-ray functionality. Xbox owners will now be able to download games and apps through their smartphone or computer on Xbox.com. However, this function only works when the Xbox One is set to automatically turn on. Yeah, because it fucking creeps on you. Sorry. The update also includes 3D Blu-ray functionality and a number of improvements to the Xbox One social features. Players will be able to like, comment, and post on your activity feed items, as well as share game clips. The updated interface will also have a more expansive friends list on the home screen and alert players when their controller batteries are running low.
Wait, it didn't do that already?
Apparently not.
That's stupid.
I have no idea why not. Even though the update will release this week for early access users, Microsoft has not revealed the exact date for the update's release for everyone else. These really seem like things that should have been available at launch.
Kinda, yeah.
Activity feed stuff, remote downloading, and 3D Blu-ray functionality, an alert to tell you when your batteries are low. Come on, like, what?
I don't care about any of this.
I don't know. It just seems so weird. At least they're doing it, you know? At least they're making these changes. So that is a positive. It just feels like it's a little late for those changes. It's fun.
It's like I don't have an Xbox One, and I still want one because of games, but
oh yeah,
none of this is going to be what sells me on the Xbox One.
Nope. It's
3D Blu-ray. Ugh.
It's stuff that should have been there, you know? It's
Yeah.
kind of like how I said that I believe it was last week when we were talking about it was QTE last week, the Quickfire edition, where we were talking about Microsoft Entertainment Studios shutting down. That was never going to sell me on getting an Xbox One. It was always a bonus. Nope. And so like features like this aren't going to sell me on getting an Xbox One, but they're a bonus. They're things that should be there already and that will be nice to have, but they're definitely not a reason to either not buy it or buy it.
Well, I guess when we pick up our Xbox Ones, it will be like, hey, this is a feature we got with our Xbox Ones, unlike everyone who bought it day one.
We can enjoy our first day more than they could.
We can enjoy knowing when our controller's about to die.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, next piece of news. The next Doom game will not be ready to be shown off to the public until 2015. Luckily, that's only a few months, but still. Over the weekend, id Software had their 18th annual QuakeCon down in Dallas, Texas. The major news to come out of QuakeCon was the gameplay footage of Doom 4. Speaking with PC Gamer, Bethesda Softworks VP of PR and marketing. Oh my God, that is a weird title. Vice President of PR and Public Relations and Marketing, Pete Hines, said the game won't be shown in the public until next year. To quote, I try really, really hard for this one to be a dev first, dev lead thing. We're working with them to say, how does this work? What do we want to show? And they're like, look, we don't want to stream to go up for a game that isn't at the point where we could formally show it to the world. And now that thing is getting picked apart and digested and gone through frame by frame and getting nitpicked to death, when normally we wouldn't be showing this to anybody at all.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's actually really reasonable.
Yeah, that's an approach that every developer should take. Let's not show everyone this video, a year early when it's going to change 1,000 times by the time it comes out.
It's like that. I think I mentioned it in general chat, but I don't know if you saw it. But I think a month or two ago, what's the people's name? Sony Santa Monica, I think, were doing a Twitch stream for the Order 1886, and it was like, I was expecting like, oh, there's actually going to be people talking, they're going to be playing, showing us stuff we haven't seen, and then it was the same 4 minutes that we've already seen, played over 2 times, and that was it. And they made a big deal about it. I'm like, guys, really? If you're having to show us the same thing over and over, don't show us. Just keep it to yourself. It's okay. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and by the way, that's Ready at Dawn and Santa Monica. So,
okay.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's just I know that people like to, or developers like to show off these videos and stuff to get people excited about games, but there's just too many of them doing it way too early. And so this is a really smart move, because Doom, the last Doom, was criticized, and it's not an extremely relevant game anymore. And so if you don't feel that your game is up to standards yet, wait until it is to show us. Mm-hmm. Take all the time you need, because if you don't show us anything, then we have nothing to look forward to yet, or nothing to expect so much of, And so as long as you keep waiting to show it off, then we won't be worried about it. So it's not gonna be like, God, the Watch Dogs fiasco that went down. It was it was ridiculous, all the shit that happened with that. I still stand by my belief that it was a beautiful game, regardless of what other people say on PlayStation 4. But like all the media attention that was given to it in the months coming up to the release and then a few weeks after it was ridiculous.
And now nobody's playing it.
Even though it's the fastest and best or fastest selling Ubisoft title ever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about the next Doom game. I'm excited for next year whenever we finally get to see something. The little bitty teaser trailer they showed off was exciting.
I've never even played a Doom game, so
you're not missing a whole lot. It's just early first-person shooters. They throw you in a dungeon and you shoot fucking aliens.
Okay, I have played one, but I didn't enjoy it. I'll put it like that. I don't know. My friend was trying to explain to me, like, this was after I'd already played first-person shooters before.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to aim properly and like look up and stuff. And he's like, "You don't have to do that, man. It shoots like in a cross or whatever." And I'm like, "I don't like that. I need to aim."
Yeah, I agree. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. The Last of Us Live is scheduled to happen next Monday night. To celebrate The Last of Us Remastered on PlayStation 4, Sony, Naughty Dog, and Jeff Keighley will host an event at the Broad Stage in Santa Monica, California. The event will be one night only, and it will be streamed live via YouTube, Twitch, and the PlayStation Network. The event will have selective scenes under the direction of Neil Druckmann and read by the cast, including Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Annie Wershing, is that Merle?
Yep.
Merle Dandridge? I don't know. And Hannah Hayes, which are all characters from the game. There will also be a full orchestra conducted by The Last of Us composer Gustavo Santaolalla?
Santolala.
Yeah, him. Which, by the way, he put together an amazing soundtrack. You guys need to watch the Grounded documentary done on The Last of Us, and you get to see how he came up with the soundtrack, how he came up with the music and everything. It's amazing to see what he did. But anyways, the one-night event starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on July 28th. Since this was announced, the free tickets to see The Last of Us Live have been sold out. Now the only way to see it is through streaming, which will be available basically everywhere. So I will definitely be watching this. I've gone on record many times saying that The Last of Us is the best game I've ever played. And so there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to be getting the remastered edition whenever it comes out next week. Ever since it was rumored, I knew I was going to get it. And so in order to prepare for that next day, I will absolutely be watching this. I'm so excited. I'm a huge Troy Baker fan. I've been a Troy Baker fan since I started watching him in anime, like several years ago. It's like, I don't even know, 7, 8, 9 years ago, when some of his first shows he was in. And so I've just been a huge fan. And then to see his career grow over the past few years, all the different games he's been in, it's amazing. And so any chance I get to see Troy do something, I try to check in for it.
It's weird for me. Like, I care a lot about games, and but just when it comes to something like this, like voice actors, I respect them. I don't really care though. And same with skip them on. But like something like this, I would have absolutely no interest in watching. Like I said, I respect Troy Baker. I respect all of them. I respect the work they do. I just without the game itself, I don't really care.
See, yeah, and I was the same way as that for a long time. For basically every game, I didn't give a fuck, who voiced any characters whatsoever until I got into anime again. I was into it as a kid, but then I got into it again after I graduated high school. And even then, it took me seeing several shows and hearing the same voices to actually start to pick up that, oh my God, this guy is in this many shows and stuff like that. And then I started looking up names and being familiar with names. And then I started watching convention interviews and convention panels with some of my favorite actors and actresses. And just over the past few years, I've just grown into a bigger, more and more of a fan of certain voice actors and actresses. And I try to, keep track of what all they're in and what some of their interviews and stuff like that. And so it's changed for me throughout my life as a fan of games and TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I still respect that. It's just personally for this guy right here, it's I like the work you do, but I don't really want to see you elsewhere. Did
you watch the Grounded documentary?
Nope.
Dude, you should see that because it's all about what goes into making a game. It's incredible. But speaking of The Last of Us, The Last of Us 2 is apparently currently being explored. Naughty Dog has not ruled out the idea of developing a sequel to The Last of Us, according to Video Gamer. The community manager or strategist. That's the second time I've seen the name, but it's been said as something different.
Community strategist
was said that failing to consider a sequel would be a disservice to our fans and our or to ourselves and our fans. Sorry. He's also said, I think that's a dude, right? Arnie
Meyer is what it sounds like.
Whatever. They said, we're just starting to explore ideas of what could there be in this universe and starting that decision process. That doesn't mean the end result is guaranteed. Which this is basically saying, like every developer would be stupid not to consider a sequel. This doesn't say that there's going to be a sequel. It doesn't say that there is or not, but every company will consider it no matter what. And so that's
especially if they make a lot of money, because if they do, even if that game had a solid ending, like the world ended, they will find a way to make a sequel if they think it'll bring in money.
Or a pre-sequel.
God, I hate that so much.
Borderlands?
I hate the word prequel, and that makes it worse.
Yeah, that's a horrible name for Borderlands, but whatever.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for them pre-sequel because they're silly, but
well, yeah, they're crazy.
I still hate it so much.
So do I. So speaking of sequels,
all right, that tie-in, that segue. A sequel for Spec Ops: The Line is unlikely. Sorry, folks. Spec Ops: The Line developer, Jaeger Development, told GameStar that a sequel to the third-person shooter is very unlikely, and they are okay with that. The critically acclaimed third-person shooter took a different approach to military shooting genre, or the military shooter genre. It was not Call of Duty. It was not Battlefield. They forced players to really think about what they were doing and the lives that they took while they were playing through the game. Needless to say, it was very emotional, and that was kind of what got a lot of its acclaim and got a lot of interest on it. The emotional material from the game made it somewhat tough to develop, as they said, and the art director, Matthias Weiss, said, "You can imagine what kind of reference material you have to review, and that's not fun." Managing director Timo Ullman is also okay with Spec Ops: The Line being a standalone experience. Oh my god.
You alright? What just happened?
My foot cramped.
Oh.
It cramped midway through reading it, but I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, I was like, what was going on there? Yeah, Spec Ops: The Line I could absolutely see being a standalone game. It was a wild story, emotional, like psychological thriller, and it's, just like The Last of Us. The Last of Us could be a standalone experience, but the universe is so well put together that they could do so many games with it. Unlike this game, because it's not a universe, it's a person's story in Spec Ops. So.
Yeah, I mean they could pick another person in like a similar situation as that guy, or if they really, really wanted to make it like really emotional, they could pick someone on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Like that might be controversial, but I mean that's kind of what they're going for.
Yeah, if they were going to do that though, I would think they would just be a DLC or something. But
I mean, they can make a whole game out of it.
I guess.
Like someone who's not necessarily connected to the main character of the original.
I don't know. I just think it would be hard to do that in this game's universe because it's just set in one city, and it's spoilers. Skip ahead 20 seconds if you don't want to hear anything about Spec Ops: The Line. It's about a guy losing his mind. It's just about a guy who's remembering what the fuck happened in the city and everything like that. And I don't know. I don't see how you could develop another game in that same city or in that same situation or from anybody else's point of view because it was him losing his mind. So anyways, we're back from the spoilers.
I mean, it's been like, 2 years now?
Yeah, it's been a while. And it was free on PlayStation Plus and it's super cheap now. And, I think they've given up on the series because it wasn't a big seller.
That could indeed be the situation. But, I mean, it happens, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. So, speaking of games that could be big sellers, huh?
I was going to go speaking of Batman, because, everyone's always talking about Batman, even if they don't know it.
Wait, isn't it Batman Day?
Yes,
am I wrong on that?
I think so. It was either like today or yesterday. I saw Greg Miller post about it on Twitter.
July 23rd. Is that today? It's
Yeah.
Batman Day. Sorry. Oh
I didn't
my
even
God.
know that was a thing, honestly.
I didn't either.
There seem to be a lot of days that I don't know are days.
On April 29th, 2014, DC Entertainment declares that July 23rd will be Batman Day. Huh.
Like, what? I mean, can we just declare days? Because if so, December 31st, that's my birthday. That's Myles Day now.
Miles Day.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Freaking Myles Day, December 31st.
Remember it.
Keep the
Write it
date.
down.
Batman Arkham Knight, the pre-order bonuses for it have been leaked. The Batman News uncovered the GameStop ad. I don't understand that first sentence. According to the image, players will be able to play as the Red Hood as well as Harley Quinn in an exclusive story pack. If the advertisement is real, then this is a GameStop exclusive. Yay.
Yeah.
Shortly after this advertisement was discovered, GameStop tweeted a picture saying that they have a big announcement for a big game.
Okay, so that first sentence that you didn't get?
Yes.
Batman News is a website. It's a place that covers Batman News. So they uncovered the GameStop ad. That's what it meant.
Oh, I have no idea what Batman News is. I was lost.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's cool. The Red Hood, the movie that the movie Batman Under the Red Hood. If you haven't seen it, that was a great movie. It was animated. People should watch it. It was really good. And that movie got me interested in the Red Hood. And I don't know about everyone else who listens to this or writes for us. I'm a big comic geek. And I don't think that Red Hood has been done well as of right now in terms of the series that he has, which is Red Hood and the Outlaws. I think that is a horrible series, and I think that this would give them a chance to actually make a good Red Hood feature in anything, which is a great thing in my opinion.
See, I don't even know who Red Hood is. So
that is let me make sure I got that. There have been so many Robins now that I get a little bit confused sometimes.
I'm not a huge comic book fan, but I really, really enjoy superhero stories. So
yeah, I mean that's good because superhero stories are normally pretty good. I believe Red Hood was, God dang it, I know he was one of the Robins that was killed by the Joker. Jason Todd, there we go. He was a Robin and he was killed by the Joker or the original Red Hood, depending on what canon you're looking at. In terms of the movie, he was killed by the Joker, and Ra's al Ghul, however you want to pronounce it.
Ra's.
Yeah. He was remorseful because he was the one who kind of sicked the Joker on him, and he didn't intend for the Joker to kill him, although it's like, I don't know what you were planning on having happen. The Joker's crazy. And so in feeling bad about it, he put Jason Todd in the Lazarus Pit, which, if you don't know, that's how Ra's al Ghul, whatever. That's how he keeps his youth. That's how he keeps himself alive, because he's really old, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
he's immortal.
Yeah, he's immortal because of the Lazarus Pit. And pretty much Jason Todd comes back and takes over he becomes the Red Hood. And it's kind of like, it's not really revenge against Batman, but I think the crux of it was like, not at the very end, but like at one point, Jason's just like, he killed me and he's still alive. Why is he still alive? Because I think it was like one of those like, kind of like the father-son bond kind of thing that they probably have, like every Robin has with Batman pretty much.
Yeah.
He was like, why is he still alive? That makes me feel like crap. So, because, he's like, if the Joker killed you, Batman, he would be dead. He would have been dead like the night he did it. But yeah, so that was a really good movie. And if you care anything about Batman or comics, you should watch it.
Okay. I might look into that.
It's on Netflix, so it's like if you have Netflix, you have no reason not to.
Yeah. Other than other shows that I want to watch. But
it's like an hour and a half.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I like exclusives, or not exclusive. I like DLC and stuff like that, especially games like Batman, where you can bring in other characters from universes and stuff like that. That's really cool to bring stuff like this in. But yeah.
Wait, and for Harley Quinn, if they have to do the DLC right, which means they have to bring in what's his name? Sharkman, I think.
Sharkman.
Yes, he's one of the less inventive characters, I guess. He is, literally a shark man.
Mm-hmm.
And he also has my favorite quote from all time when it comes to DC. And it's just a picture of him crashing down through a ceiling. And, he's like a big dude. He's might not be Sharkman. I don't quite remember his name, but he's like a giant man shark that, has the face of a shark. He has scales and fins and stuff. And he just comes crashing down through the roof. And his name he says, "Hello, my name is Trixie. I'm a pretty princess. I like to party." And wow. I don't know why, but I read that and it just broke me, especially when I looked down in the bottom corner and it had Harley Quinn narrating, and her narration was, "This is Sharkman. His name is Trixie. He's a pretty princess. He likes to party."
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, okay, so let's I don't know how to move on from that, but the listener questions, let's get into that. We have a good one here from Tunde. He asks, if you could pick 2 to 5 video game journalists to debate the video game industry, who would you pick? I would pick Colin Moriarty, Jim Sterling, Marcus Spear, and Total Biscuit. Debate the video game industry? I'm not sure I know exactly what they're debating, though.
Yeah, it's like, are we just debating the video game industry as a whole, or is it like something's? Well, I guess that is what they mean then. Just like, I guess, excuse me,
it could,
like how? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it could just be any issue, basically, any issue that comes up. Who would you want to debate it?
I mean, if it's like that, then, some people are going to have, like, I don't know. It just seems hard to find, like, a catch-all cast for something like that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I know I would want Colin on there because Colin is decisive and he has his beliefs, firm beliefs in things. Mm-hmm. And so he would make, even though some of them may be outrageous, he would make a stand, and he would say, this is the way it is, this is the way it should be, you all are wrong if you don't believe it. And he's normally really smart about it. Like I said, even if they are sometimes outrageous, he will be decisive. I would say Greg, because Greg is not so decisive as much, but he would make the arguments interesting, the debate interesting. Yeah. And he would have funny things to say. But I'm not sure he would fit in debating the industry on. I guess it depends on the topic. There are some topics that he would be very well versed in, and he would make a good person. I'm not a huge fan of Jim Sterling or Marcus Spear or Total Biscuit, so I wouldn't pick any of them. It's really hard though. Like, do you have any other ideas for other journalists?
Not really, because like in terms of journalists, the only ones that like I seriously follow are Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, and I guess some of the other people on IGN, but I don't really know. Like I know Tim Geddes is always on an IGN show, but like I'm sure he knows about the industry, but I don't know like how deep his knowledge goes.
It's not. He's not as much of a video game fan as he is like video, social media, movies, everything.
Exactly. So, that's why I'm not sure who else I would pick, because I see all these people all the time on video game stuff, but I don't know who is like there because they're like, because Greg, I know he's on all the IGN videos, but that's because he's the host.
Yeah. Like
if you look on the website, that is his job description. He is the host. So I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is that I'm blanking on names that I've known for years, For some reason, I just can't remember all the names. Another good one could be Brian Altano.
Definitely.
As funny as he is, he's also well-versed in video game history because, he's been here to play all these games and he's seen all the history. But at the same time, he doesn't have a really strong opinion one way or another. He just likes to play games, and so but he could bring all of the knowledge. He could bring all the history to the argument.
Also, they'll make it funny.
Yeah, and he'll make really good one-liner jokes.
Yep.
God, there are some really great knowledgeable ones, and I just can't think of their names anymore. Okay, if I could give a shout out to a not a IGN or Game Informer or any big publication journalist, Sean Messler from all of the groups I'm a part of on Facebook, from Podcast Beyond's group and stuff like that, who's on Rated M for Podcast. He's a guy who has a lot of knowledge about video games and is very opinionated and decisive in what he believes in. So I think that would be a good guy to throw into there. So, it's just it's hard. I wish I would have had more time to think of some people, because there are some great names. I'm trying to think of some of the people who used to be at IGN, like 6 years ago. And there were some really good ones that could be on this. And if I didn't want to go a journalist, what's the guy who made Fable? Peter Molyneux?
I hate him so much.
Peter Molyneux, he's got opinions and knowledge and stuff like that. He would be fun to have in an argument or in a debate or something like that. And Shuhei Yoshida would be a good guy to have in there, because he has so much experience and has seen everything. And it's just like, it's hard to pick journalists when there's a lot of people who could be in this.
Well, I would also cheat and say that I would totally want myself on this panel, because if I sit there and look like an idiot the whole way through, I can say that I sat there and got to listen to Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller and everyone else, and I'm sure every now and then they would dress me, because they'd be like, "So Myles, what do you think?" Because I would have been sitting there just dead silent for 15 minutes straight. I'd just be like, I want to work with you.
Yeah, no, I would love to debate it and everything like that with them as well. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I don't know. Oh God, Dan Shu, he would be a good one. Jeff Keighley, he'd be a great one to have on there. That's about all I can think of right now. So let's move on to our other question.
All right. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna link it to you, but that's what I was talking about. King Shark. Look at it. It's funny. The next question is, it comes to us from Jake Keel. I still love you, Jake. You're my boy, Blue. Mong, if Telltale Games came to you and said they are creating another game like The Walking Dead, but they want you to choose the fictional universe, and that could be a video game, TV series, comic book, etc., in which it will take place, where would it take place? I personally would love to see Telltale tackle Joss Whedon's Firefly.
Oh, God.
That would be good. That would be really good.
That would be really good. That just made me, super nerd out. Nerdgasms.
I don't know.
Honestly, if they could, they could do Star Trek, they could do Star Wars, they could do Battlestar Galactica, they could do Firefly, all the spacey ones, all of those, I think they could do a great job with if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. But if I didn't want to go space opera, God, what? They're already doing Game of Thrones.
Yep, they're already doing Borderlands.
And that Game of Thrones would be my other option if it wasn't The Walking Dead, because those are my two favorite shows. Doctor Who.
Oh yeah,
that would be fucking cool. I bet they could do a great job with Doctor Who.
Probably.
God, that's the one I'm going to go with. Doctor Who.
Maybe they could do it by the time The Rock is the Doctor.
The Rock is the Doctor?
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson.
He's going to be the Doctor?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're lying your ass off.
I was like, I was watching a podcast and they suggested it, and I was like, I would love to see that. But I don't know. I think again, I'm geeking out. This is Miles's comic book geek out podcast. But if any of our listeners have read Irredeemable or forgot what it was. Irredeemable. It's like two comic books that exist in the exact same universe during the exact same time,
Mhm.
and they're just like pretty much about like one of them. The whole series essentially is about a character who it's a superhero, like pretty much Earth's greatest superhero, and that's Irredeemable. Well, his name's not Irredeemable, but that's the Irredeemable series, and pretty much it's about how he one day just like the stress and all of it packing on for years and years just gets to be too much, and he goes crazy, and that's Irredeemable. And Incorruptible, which is the other one, is about his arch nemesis, or one of his arch nemesis, that is like, no one likes him except for his his little crew of people. He's the worst guy that a lot of people can think of. And then it's about how like once the hero, who's called the Plutonian, goes absolutely out of his mind, it's about how that guy becomes like, if you really think about it, he becomes like the rock on which the world is rebuilt off of. Because I guess I don't quite remember why he suddenly has like the big change of heart, but I guess it was because he realized that with the Plutonian, who's God essentially, with him going just crazy, he's like, I'm the only person that can bring this back, and I don't want to do it for evil means. The world is ruined. I need to be there for these people. And I don't know, that universe, since it wasn't all about fighting, and I'm sure Telltale could do fighting well, but it wasn't all action. It was actually story and stuff, and that's what really made me like that one, and that's why it came to mind. I'm like, this is one of those universes that's like really fantastical and amazing, but it has solid characters and it has solid, things that Telltale will be able to build off of to make a good series.
Well, that would be pretty cool. What?
I said indeed.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Indubitably, sir.
So yeah, you'll go with that, and I'll go with Doctor Who. Those will be our answers. Jake, what do you think about those? Do you think those are good ideas? Let us know. But so yeah, that's the end. That's it for our questions this week. We only had 3 of them, and one of Jake's we're gonna save because it's about Destiny, and we're gonna do a shorter podcast that we promised last week that would be coming out over the weekend, and we decided to hold off and do it at the very end of the Destiny beta. So we'll have a QuickTime event or something like that that'll be all about it, and then we'll talk all about Destiny during that.
I'm just gonna say one thing to make it really. Oh, you said Destiny. Dang it. Well, I was gonna make it a surprise and make it like really cryptic, so people would be wondering what the question was about. My answer is love.
Well, sorry I ruined it for you. So the video game releases this week. On PlayStation 3, we have Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, new and tasty. And then we have Kick-Ass 2. On PlayStation 4, we have Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, new and tasty. And the same thing on PlayStation Vita. You want to cover the Xboxes?
I'll cover everything else if you want.
Sure.
Sure. All right. I'll do an old man voice, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with voices I can do for these. On the Xbox 360, we have Might and Magic, Duel of Champions, Forgotten Wars. Wait, I thought that came out last week.
No, it was a different Might and Magic game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I did the same thing whenever I was making the article. I was like, wait, what?
Sounds good. Also on the Xbox 360, Kick-Ass 2. You chillins with your bad words. On the Xbox One. On the PC, there's Logigun. I don't know how that's supposed to be said.
Probably Logi, but...
Logigun. Sounds good. Ollie Ollie. Halfway. Hearthstone. Micron. Unrest. Those are 2 different games, by the way. Also... oh my god, what is that?
Adventure
Zater, when pigs fly. And that sounds like a Power Rangers robot. The wizard came from the moon. The game's actually called The Wizard, I just wanted to say that. Terrahedron, Gods Will Be Watching. That sounds kind of cool, actually. Selknam Defense. The 5th day, we'll also have the Merchants of Caden. And that's all we're going to have for the personal computers. We don't want to spoil you all too badly. On the Wii U, we have Wooden Sensei I think.
Yeah,
it's
Sensei. Like
Sensei. Okay. We also have Super Toy Cars and Master Reboot. Lastly, there's Wii Sports Club. That's all you get, Wii U. On the 3DS, we have Siesta Fiesta. Also, 101 Pony Pets 3D. Yay!
and Myles ruins his voice acting career forever.
Probably that was awful. It sounds great in my head, like when I'm listening to myself say it. It sounds great, but it probably sounds horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. You'll have to listen to it whenever we publish this.
Okay.
Oh wait, you want to cover this? You're the host this week.
Oh, I forgot about all this. Yeah, I'll do it though.
You want to do it? You can.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right, and that is all we have for you on the Middle of Nowhere podcast, Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast, episode 43. Our schedule: we record on Tuesdays normally and release on Wednesdays. Also, you can email us at mong.podcast@gmail.com or contact.mong@gmail.com. You can find our Mong Twitter account at mong.com. You're going to spell out dot and com, DOTCOM. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You can also find us on YouTube at YouTube.
YouTube.
Those
YouTubes.
Those YouTubes. At youtube.com/Mong Network. You can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. Just look up Mong. Maybe?
Middle of Nowhere Gaming, most likely on all of those.
Middle of Nowhere Gaming. Look up that one. Don't look up Mong. We don't know what you're going to get with that one. That's not our fault if you get fired from work. Check out our website, middleofnowheregaming.com. Spell it all out. It has all of our latest editorials, news, and reviews. All of the opinions that you didn't know you cared about.
Before you get on to this next one, remember, everybody, tweet at Luke and Taldi. And say, R.I.P., sorry about the butt cancer, Mong. Something similar to that. Gotta let him know. We have to have a memorial Twitter going for him. Hashtag butt cancer. That's what we need to do. R.I.P. Sorry about the hashtag butt cancer. Mong. All caps. That's what you need to say. Okay.
Okay. And last but not least, this is where you can find us on Twitter. Courtney?
You can find me at Osborne_2009.
And you can find me, Myles K. Farrington, not Farrington, at Furious Milk.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have a better known indie segment for you. So I guess now you can stop listening.
Mong!
Mong!